Hey, what's up? How are you doing? What's new with you? It's Monday, and Baldur's later, of course, but until then, you're stuck with me ranting, I guess. Which, if you're here, I guess that's what you're here for. Um, or you have nothing else to do anyway. Who knows? Whichever the case might be, that was Ken's theme remixed by Retro Kid. Just crediting. Yeah, so Monday. Crusty fucking Monday. I guess I'm holding true to my word at least. Or partially. Or maybe I will in the end, who knows. Week's not over yet. And so here we are. It's just chatting, I guess, before Baldur's. Which, to tell you the truth, I was looking forward to. Yeah, you know how this will go, right? I'll just speak my mind, I guess. And you can, I don't know what you do. You just hear my mind, I suppose. And that's gonna go on for about an hour or so, and then Neris will show up, and then we'll play some Baldur's. But until then, though, you're at my mercy. Which, I don't know, it might suck for you, or not. I don't know, I suck with intros myself every Monday. It's difficult. Sometimes even on Tuesdays, it's super difficult to make a decent intro to a stream, I think. And most of my intros contain at least a little bit of me talking about how I can't make them interesting. You could say it's like it feeds on itself. But it's okay. Anyway, alright, that was awkward, whatever. I can't with intros, and I can't with fucking outros. It's the bane of my existence, of my streaming existence, that is. Because if we're talking introductions in real life, I think I got game there. Which, well, you can't know. Either way, I've been bothered lately by some recurring thoughts, let's say. Or rather, my mind has been just circling these thoughts and taking little bites every now and then and giving me food for thought. And I hate it. I hate it, honestly. I hate the subject. That's why I'm gonna talk about it. It's the fact that, alright, I'll give you a story, which is also an example. So, a while back, a long while back, right? Back in my clubbing heydays. No, but for real, it was a while back. And I had this friend, John. And I might have mentioned John quite a few times in past streams. I'd like to think that John is doing okay. Though I don't know, honestly. We kind of lost contact. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. What's important is that night John was there. And so was his wife-to-be. And I had enough of her. And I told him we need to talk. We were in the club and we were having fun and just chilling and whatever, dancing, drinking, what you do. And yeah, I told him, John, we have to talk. And I took him outside and we talked. And what I told him was, look, I can't stand your girlfriend. So I think that since you obviously can stand here, which he couldn't in the end. Okay, that's why they broke up, or, well, divorced, I guess, because they married later. But anyway, at the time, I guess she didn't bother him that much. Though to be fair, she did bother quite a few people, but that's also part of my point. None of these people who were bothered ever did what I did, which maybe for the better, I don't know. But what I did is like tell him, look, I'm gonna drop you guys because you're inseparable at the moment, and I cannot stand here, and I'm only here for you, dude. So, you know, as much as I fucking love you, I can't take her. And she was obnoxious. Like, to me, she was really obnoxious. But this is not a critique on her. This is just trying to explain like how I felt, right? Everything from her voice to the tone of that voice to everything else, just I just couldn't. And she was always there, always there, never leaving John any breathing room for any friends or anything. And so I told him, hey, I'm gonna go, and you're a loss I'm willing to take. And I said that, and I did it. And so I stopped talking to John for a while. And later on we resumed, right? And I apologized and everything. In my way, at least. I did say, probably that was too much, right? But the thing is, I do have this capacity of, I don't know, just saying what I feel as it is, and then, I don't know, in combination with like how black and white sometimes I see stuff, it kind of like leads to, I guess it doesn't lead to, right? I should be honest. I lead myself into these situations where I feel I have to make a choice, and I feel I have to act on that choice, right? And if there are consequences, I take them, even though I don't like them. And this sounds a bit like giving ultimatums, but it's not the same, because I'm not making the other person choose. I'm making the choice. Which, to be fair, affects the other person, right? But at least I don't put them on the spot for choosing. Because, mind you, whenever I've done that, like, now that's a shit show. That's a shit show, and that's, like, usually not salvageable, because I can't trust others to... You know, as I said, I went back and, told John, hey, dude, I miss you, and, like, maybe that was too much. I've never been on the receiving end of that, I guess, so I don't trust people to do that. So I'd rather make a choice than have others make a choice. And so you see all those things combined, like my unwillingness to trust others with choices when they affect me, right? And also my, on the other hand, willingness to act, like my eagerness to act on something that I choose. I don't know, it's such a bad combination sometimes. So I had to give you an example, right? And maybe a little bit of an explanation, I guess. And that brings me to now, where, when I see certain things, that I perceive as boring, which they are, all right, I then go into that mood to choose again. And what usually happens is that shit is hard. It's hard for me. It's also hard to choose to talk to you about it. But I have, so I'm doing it. Sorry, I'm coughing all day today. I've been coughing, by the way, so maybe from the weather changes and the air conditioner and everything, like something fucks me up, I guess. It'll pass, no matter. So here I was, like recently, I think last week or so, let's say the last 8 days, where I suppose certain people just started worrying me with their behavior. And because that exact behavior in the past has led into, well, stuff that, you know, wasn't pleasant, I was like immediately, hey, you know, talk to these people, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna like step back a bit, because I know they wouldn't, or I don't trust them to. Like, I don't trust a person to tell me, hey, I'm gonna go do that. I'll be back, okay? This is gonna happen while I'm away, and I'll be back, okay? And I don't trust anyone with that, except myself. And I know it sounds harsh, but hey, what can you do, right? So when I noticed that some people, a couple of people in my life, let's say, were starting to exhibit signs of, you know, just dipping, or what I perceive as signs of like slowly dipping, I immediately went and said to them that I'm gonna dip instead, because I just don't want to put myself in that potential situation. And I chose for them, I guess, a little bit, which I don't regret, considering that, well, I mean, in the end, I'm right. So yeah, I don't know, but I wanted to talk about it and just say that it's just never easy for me to do that, and I'm just getting it off my chest. There's nothing here. There's no moral point, or there's no like awesome lore to share. It's just like I'm just telling you, it fucking sucks, dude. And yeah, I wanted it off my chest. And sometimes I wish I wasn't like this. Sometimes I wish I wasn't right. When it comes to people and situations, I guess. But hey, what can you do? God, this cough is killing me. So yeah, I don't know. I just I don't know, dude. Choosing like that is maybe unfair or cold, I guess, or something like that. But what is the alternative, right? You're just gonna sit there and endure and just watch a slow motion train wreck, and you're gonna be like, hey, you know, this is cool, and everything around you is just crashing and burning, and you're going like, yeah, no, this is absolutely legitimately cool, you know, that's fine, everything is gonna end up fine. And I just can't. I don't know, I just fucking can't. You could say that maybe because I think it's gonna happen in the end, I then cause it by choosing and denying the other person the option to handle it differently than I thought, right? But unfortunately, statistics aren't like proving me wrong. Sadly, it fucking sucks. Let me tell you that. Yeah. Let me just vape in silence a bit, I guess. I could restructure this a little bit better so that it makes more sense. But I don't think I can. Sometimes I really struggle with that, you know, on that end, let's say. But yeah, I'm done. Like, I guess basically what I'm saying is, I'm fucking done with this whole thing that people have, where, God, let's take it from the beginning, right? Let's try to like take it apart. So my first issue is really that people go into these weird circles, or cycles, not circles, of meeting other people, which is genuinely nice, and then they struggle with their time and with their overall, like, you know, capability to manage multiple contacts, I guess. And for some accursed reason, I seem to be low in priority always, which fair enough. I'm not the most interesting person in the world, and I'm not gonna like click with everyone and all that. But that's not the point. The point is that like still I don't like feeling that, and I'd rather stay with people that I stick with, click with, let's say. And so when I see that someone just for some reason just dips, even if the reason is legitimate, like finding friends, I don't know, something like getting to know people, I just know what's gonna happen in the end, and I don't want to be there for that. Just my brain goes like, no, nope, we had enough of that. Nope, I'm not gonna do the usual little dance where I stick around only to find out that like in the end I am kind of forgotten or pushed on the side. And so yeah, that's where the whole choice thing comes in. Sorry, English is hard. And I'm like, yeah, I'll choose. Fuck it. I'll just throw myself out of the door. It's fine. You don't have to do it. Because again, like, I don't even trust others to do it with finesse, right? Because everything I've seen so far has been people going like, oh yeah, no, everything is all right. You're really cool. We're gonna hang out. And then it goes like, boom, like straight into the fucking ocean. And then it becomes weirder because you start going like, hey, poke, what happened? Why are we not talking anymore? Well, why did it fucking dim like that? And you become the weird one, and you become like the intrusive one and the needy one, and oh my fucking god, I can't take that dance. Like that's one tango I ain't gonna fucking tango to, okay? I'm not gonna do that shit, sorry. And so, I have to take a huge fucking hit on the spot and be like, hey, okay, let me just make that person sad and make myself sad, but at least it's short term and it's quick, right? And then I can go like, hey, I'm gonna be leaving you to your business, and I'll be over there, and whatever, And the worst part of that is that then when they reach out at one point because maybe their new girlfriend dumped them, their new boyfriend dumped them, or whatever, something didn't work out. I don't want to be cynical. Let's keep it to something didn't work out, okay? It's like literally like people can't fucking handle partners or even friends, to be honest. Like they just overload the moment they have more than 2 or 3 people in their lives. And here I am just fucking juggling everyone just fine. I never had such an issue. I don't know. There was this research that would indicate that like the average person can't practically or realistically handle more than, I don't know, X number of friends, whatever those friends might be, people that they genuinely, interact and integrate with, right? Well, I never had that problem, I guess. And so I just don't understand why people drown themselves, quite honestly, with first of all, drown in social situations that they create as well. Like they drown themselves in them. And I know you have to get new people sometimes. You have to cycle the roster a little bit, right? Refresh it, recycle it. I get it, but I've been one too many times on the pile of trash that didn't make it through recycling, sorry. And that fucking hurts. Because I may fucking suck, right? I may be horrible. I don't fucking know. I'll take that. I don't mind me. So if others mind me, I guess I'll take the L. Maybe I'm not the best person to be around or whatever. But it still fucking sucks. Like I still have, even if you were to believe that I'm a fucking monster or something, you would still have to acknowledge that I still have my own feelings, right? So I am allowed to feel, even if I am horrible, which I don't think I'm that bad. But anyway, that's a different discussion. Because in fact, I think I'm actually not really bad at all. But hey, I'm biased because I'm me, right? But anyway, yeah, I don't know. It fucking sucks to end up on the non-recycled trash pile. And one thing I'm really tired of is being trash. So, I fought really hard in my life oh my God, that sounds so fucking crazy to say out loud. But I did. To get over my own feelings of inadequate, my self-defeatism, right? And my self-loathing, right? And to have someone else make me feel similar situations, like similar feelings of situations, like like passive aggressive, like rejection, or you get the idea. Just versions of the stuff that I got over that are caused by others is what I mean. I don't want to feel that, right? I don't want to be made to feel that, not even indirectly. And so, again, as I said, like combined with my eagerness to choose and eagerness to resolve a situation, because I like having things ordered in my life, right? I want to be able to see a person and be like, oh, that's X, and X is a friend, and blah blah blah. It's like literally like computer zoom and enhance, and then I go like, okay, a small bio on the person, and like I like to have that ordered. I'm friends with that person. That person is not a friend. Blah blah blah. And I like categorizing like that in my head, which can be fluid, of course. It can change depending on the circumstances, but I like to update it. I like to have it current, right? Which also plays a role in what I'm doing with people and how I manage my contacts. Maybe because I manage my socials like that, I have the ability to like not be buzzed by having like, I don't know, 50, 100 friends or whatever. Which I don't, but I used to. I used to have like a minimum of 30 people who I actively met and interacted with and all that stuff. And I mean it actively, like, and I didn't have a problem like just finding time for them. It was just good management. I was good at that shit. So yeah, still am, I guess. Which, yeah, not all of that ended well, of course. But that's not about how I managed it. It's about that in the end, and through growing up and changing and whatnot, and changing opinions or views or just even like, I'll be honest, most of them I lost due to circumstances, as in they moved out of the country or they completely changed their lifestyle at one point or other, which, yeah, as crazy as it sounds, people sometimes do that. They just change dramatically so much and so fast that like you can feel a crack in the ice, right? You can just feel it, like it's broken. That's it. You're not clicking anymore. Like, and it happens very suddenly with some people. Anyway, that's a whole different story. Anyway, but I meant to say, like, I don't have a problem managing like a lot of people actively in my head and in my heart, I suppose. And so, yeah. So to me, it's unfathomable that someone is telling me, for example, oh, I met another person, and like, yeah, I'm gonna like focus on them now. But I mean, if they said it like that, that would be nice, right? Because I could then say, all right, sure, let's, I'll see you when I do or whatever, right? And then I can know that I don't have to worry about that person anymore. And if they ever want to talk to me, they will talk to me first. But it's the middle circumstances, that those weird, like, gray, weird circumstances where the words don't make sense. Like, it's so confusing to me when someone says, "Oh, yeah, I did meet people and I do want to spend time with you, and but no, but yes, but like, what do you mean it hasn't deemed? And no, but I can't, I fucking can't, and that's when I say usually, okay, if that's what's happening to you, let's fucking stop right here, and I guess I'll see you, and that's it. And and the annoying part is to me, which it fucking breaks my heart. I don't know why. That's why it's annoying, basically. So it's not really annoying. It just makes me sad, honestly. It's when the other person either tries to console me as if I need that, and I'm like, bro, are you fucking like, are you trying to make me feel better for like just literally fucking throwing me in the garbage? Like, why? First of all, I just I I don't even know where to start with that, but it really fucking gets me going. And then I also hate when they reach out again, except now, as I said, that thing they were going for just didn't work out. Whatever that thing was like job or anything, like something, anything, I don't fucking know. Even an interest that just completely absorbs them. And then they remember you and they go like, hey, what's up? And you're like, yeah, well, aren't you the ghost of like feelings I used to have for a person? And when I say feelings, don't get me wrong, it can be just friendship, right? It doesn't have to be romantic. And then that gets me, which I also hate. That fucking gets me so bad. Because I'm just a softie when it happens. I'm just like, oh yeah, I did miss that person. Holy shit. I'm so weird. I can just flip a switch. Boom. I don't like feel anything for the person anymore. That's it. As long as they just don't, prod me. Prod? Probe? I don't want to say probe because prodding is a word, isn't it? So yeah, poke me, let's say. But when they do, it's like everything that I have left on the side just wakes up and goes, hey, remember that person? You missed them, don't you? You had fun. Yes, Daphne, you had fun. And you go like, oh my fucking god, I did have fun and I did miss the person, but like, and then you just like, you can't, and you give in, and you're like, yeah, okay, fine, let's pretend not a day passed, not a day in which I missed you and I had to fucking suppress it because you were a fucking asshole and you just can't handle your socials and you can just fuck the fuck off, Let's pretend that never happened and fucking, I don't know, hold hands and walk into the sunset of gaming, I guess. And I can't. It hurts so much because then, you know what happens? The whole thing happens again. So if my defense mechanism is like to on the spot say, oh, I see the signs, all right, there is a high probability, a likelihood, if you will, that you're going to actually dub me, And when I say dub me, I mean, again, not necessarily in a romantic sense. I'll never stop repeating that. And it's that moment that I just choose, fucking freedom, from what's coming. Not from the person, but from what's coming. And I honestly don't think that these people do it on purpose, or that they necessarily understand it, or that they enjoyed it. I don't think they're bad people for doing that. I just care about the part where it says, and you get hurt, I care for that part. I don't even care where it comes from. I just don't want to feel that way, And so that's how I manage it, because I do suck at doing this whole little thing where people like that usually do, where they just don't talk. Literally, they just, that's it. Like, and then whoever talks first takes the blame. It's like if you talk first, it's what I said before, basically. If you talk first and you go like, hey, how you been? You haven't talked to me in a while, and then that's it. Immediately you're a villain. Immediately you're intruding, you're like, again, like just needy, clingy, you choose one of those fucking 2024 MMO words that you want, okay? Choose one of those fucking whatever. I'm angry. I'm angry, okay? To use another 24 MMO word. Yeah, I'm angry. And I feel frustrated and tired, honestly. So it all boils down to, or comes around to just somebody has to fucking take an L there, right? Because, yeah, and who more suited to take L's than good old Daphne? Because I guess I just don't mind L's. I do mind the hurt, but I'll take the L's. I don't care. So yeah, there we go. And so I am the bad person from the beginning. I'm like, hey, I notice what you're doing, and I think it's best like I let you do you. You know, you do you over there, and yeah, it's cool, buddy. Don't worry about it. And then I have to also fight back because the other person will start, maybe genuinely or maybe pretentiously, who the fuck cares? The feelings is all I'm describing. That they'll start like fighting that back, you know, and going like, no, why would you go? Like, isn't this like wonderful? I'm just like ignoring you for the last couple of days. Isn't that wonderful? Like, please stay, you know. And you have to be like, yeah, thank you, but like I think maybe. And the other person is like, no, it's totally okay. Don't worry, you're the best. I really love you, Daphne. You're the best. You know, not that shit. And again, not romantically, but like, you know, but even romantically, I guess, like both are valid like situations, I suppose. And that push and pull where you wonder, I'll tell you what you wonder about. These moments, I wonder about only one thing: is the other person really caring for me when they're trying so hard to keep me there, or do they care about how they feel when I call it out? Do they care only about realizing that they're doing this thing and someone else is doing something about it, and they're, you know, they're not being wholesome, and then they care just for that, you know, not for the other not for me in this case, not for the other person, how they feel. They just care, oh, I did a boo-boo, oh my god, how could I'm so perfect, I should have never done a boo-boo, let me try to fix it so I can feel good for myself, you know. You can't tell, that's the truth, you can never tell. And honestly, I try not to think about it in the moment, at least, and even later if I can help it. But since I'm now sharing, I can think about it and express it, I guess, because that always makes me fucking wonder, do they do it for that? Or do they really realize in the moment, oh, this ain't good, you know, because I genuinely like being with Daphne. Let me try to rectify. And I think it's never that. Because someone who really just wants to keep you around, they will. You know, they will, not pretentiously. They're not gonna like fill the air with their fucking nonsense. Which God, yeah, it fucks me up. Let's keep it to that, you know. I can draw comparisons between what they do after I say, for example, okay, maybe it's better to just stop here and leave it alone for a bit, or, you know, just everyone do their own corner, do their own shit. Like the things that they say to alter this are just so weird sometimes. I can only like compare them to death throes, like for real, just desperation at that point to keep it going. But again, like, it's usually not that they want to keep it going for you, it's that they want to keep it going because they don't want to, let's say they don't want it to mar their bio, you know, in their heads. Which is ironic because it doesn't even mean necessarily that I will view them from then on as assholes or something. But anyway, the whole process is such a drag, dude. The whole process is such a fucking drag. You have no idea. I bet from the outside it looks like I just blow a gasket and go wild and there is no thought behind it, or that I'm emotional or bipolar or who knows what. But no, it's actually the result of like many experiences and many interactions and of being fed up, of feeling fed up with stuff, you know. Really. So, you know, you're just gonna wait, let me change my mouse a bit because there we go, just a sec. Gotta flip around a few switches and press a few buttons and everything's gonna be okay. 1 sec, sorry. For real though. Okay, there we go. Whee! Works perfectly. Okay, where were we? Yeah, so I wanted to talk about that. And I did, and it took me like 3 yawns and 40 minutes. And some vaping and coffee. Okay, cool. Worth it. And an awkward intro if you wanna like tally everything. But yeah. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough, man. So all in all, I guess that's what I wanted to rant about most today. My inability to not choose and enforce it, and then also endure the consequences of that, and then also lose a person in the process, and then also feel horrible, and then the person reaches out and everything repeats. And then I'm also the villain. It's amazing. It's just fucking amazing. I love it. I don't know. And so, yeah, why is this relevant now, you might ask, which you're probably not asking. But I'm telling you anyway. It's relevant because it happened very recently with 2 people. And it, at least in one of the cases, it was completely avoidable. Except, as I said, the person just looked for me, literally. And oh god, I'm such a fucking, I'm so soft sometimes. I'm telling you, I'm so fucking soft sometimes. I shouldn't be. I wish I had the capacity to be like, hey, no, fuck you, stay away. Which might sound heartless, but it's not, because underneath that sentence, like with tiny little letters, it's like, I still fucking miss you. I would love for you to be back. But no, you have to shout over it, like, and be like, nah, fuck you. I had enough. But I can't do that. The small letters are stronger every time. I guess it ties to, or it has ties to the fact that I can't easily, I mean, more easily lately, the last few years, but generally I have difficulty turning down people or turning away people, you know. And I have huge difficulty dealing with like being someone's, you know, last choice or something. Not choice, being on the outer layer of their socials. Does that make sense? Being in the outer layer of their socials. I'm like, yeah, what's the... It's not because I want or feel the need to be at the forefront or at the center. It's more like because I feel that, like... How can I explain this? Wait, I'll use my MS Paint skills. And that way I will give you a clear image. I won't, by the way, spoilers, because I'm shit at this and I'm shit at explaining stuff. So I don't know if you've noticed that so far. But let's say, for example, that this is like their sphere of influence, all right, their domain, okay? And this is them, right? And let's say that all this down to here, that's like third rate, okay? Let's say this is third rate. I cannot be here. I feel like this is L, okay? That's like, it's not worth being there in someone's life, because all you do is like, what do you even do there, right? I want to be here, somewhere around here, because that's where the meat and potatoes is. That's where you get to know the person, and it's meaningful, and you can have conversations that are not like, oh, what did you do yesterday? You know, oh, how is Gilmore's going? Oh, who the fuck cares? Do you want to hang out or something? Like, do you want to like just chill and talk about the secrets of life and immortality and other pretty things? Like, I don't know. Would you like to watch a movie maybe? Would you like to just sit there and reminisce, or, you know, meaningful stuff, whatever, anything. But anything but this fucking ceremonious fucking, how are you? I'm okay. How is Guild Wars? It's okay. How is X game? It's also okay. Are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. Okay. Like, I fucking can't. I don't want that with people. Right? That's the kind of contact that, yes, I can't have more than like 2 people like that. Like, I overload. These people, they overload me. The other people with whom I'm tight, to a degree even, that's no problem. Because we both know where we stand, we know both enough about each other to know that, like, you know, these times are better, these subjects, these topics, these pastimes, these activities, these... eating seeds is a pastime activity. Fucking love System of a Down. Anyway, but right, and I fucking hate it. I fucking hate this fucking bullshit. That's what I have to tell you. I fucking hate this bullshit. I hate all of it. I hate the whole process I described, everything about it. The fact that I choose, others don't. The fact that I can't trust them to tell me, hey, Daphne, I'll be away for 2 weeks. I'm not even going to respond if you send me a message. I'm not going to look for you. But it's going to be about 2 weeks. I'm going to hang out with somebody. Is that cool with you? Like, can we do that? Like, yeah, sure, we can do that. Like, yeah, of course, dude. You know, it's fine. Nobody does that shit. Everyone is like, yeah, let's not fucking talk. Let's pretend that, like, not talking is okay. So all of a sudden, let's fill the air with fucking static, with like, how are you? I am okay. How are you? I also am okay. Like, fuck that shit. Just take 2-3 weeks. I don't fucking know. And you know, if they really care, they'll be back, I suppose, right? And you won't have to wait because they're telling you on their own. Like, don't look for me. I'll be back. You know, which also implies the possibility of, like, maybe they will never will. So your brain can rest. Your fucking brain can rest. You can be like, okay, whatever. You don't have to be thinking about them or missing them. Just go like, okay, boom, done. Because as I said again, it's like the reasonable response to that is to flip a switch and go like, okay, I'll push everything else aside about that person, and, you know, if they come back, it'll be there. And it won't be this shitty situation. And I can almost hear it. I mean, I can almost hear someone debating, but what if, like, they already do that, but they skip the middle part where they tell you, and they just disappear for 2 weeks, right? And they don't want to have to deal with the talking about that. Yeah, well, that hurts because I don't know what's going on. And I don't want to assume... I don't like being put on standby without even fucking, you know... Your car, okay? Your fucking car, okay? Do you tell it that you're putting it on standby? Do you talk to your car whenever you're about to, like, turn off the engine? No, because it's a fucking car. But a person, you tell them. You fucking tell them, you asshole. Don't you? Because they have feelings, right? And if they have to mute these feelings for a bit so they don't get hurt and everything, you have to tell them, right? Maybe I'm crazy, but, like, that's how I fucking function. You can't just let a person, like, just be there. And the fact that this has been normalized is such a fucking problem for me, because I just I don't fuck this way, you know? I just don't fuck this way. Man. That's some shit and a half I haven't talked about for quite a while. Good on you for hearing me out, I guess. I really appreciate it. But yeah. And the 2-in-1 as well, in the same fucking, I don't know, 8 days. Damn. And then people wonder how come, like, oh wow, how have you become so fucking harsh? I'm not even harsh. I'm actually fucking sensitive. I'm not even harsh. I'm trying to protect myself, you know. And who can fucking blame me anyways when like 8 out of 10 people do exactly this? They just don't fucking understand or care, I suppose. And also, why does it fall always on me? Why is it always about me? Why is it always about, oh, you have to let go. You have to do this. Like the other person, right? Have you ever thought about what they're thinking? They don't give a shit. They're already like it's easy for them because they have already moved on, right? They've already done the thing that they wanted to do, and it's boom, done, right? Why would they think about all this shit? You're left with that shit, you know? You, not them. You're left with that shit, and you have to learn to put your feelings aside. You have to learn to ignore them for me. Like, what the fuck? I don't want to do that thing. Like that makes me a worse person. Because then I normalize that behavior in me, right? And I stop caring. I become desensitized. Desensitized. Fuck. Yeah. That word. I become that to situations that are fucking sad and harmful. I don't want to be desensitive. Oh my god. To stuff these nuts to stuff like that hurts, because then I might do it to someone else without even realizing, you know, which is also what I'm thinking is the case with most people. Had it done to them and then they don't realize, and then they kind of like propagate it, and that's it. It becomes a norm, and then everyone does it, and then you're the villain if you're not doing it, even though it's an absurd behavior in my opinion. Ah, shit. Anyway. I kinda, you know, I kinda wish that shit never happened. It's also what's pushed me as a guild leader in MMOs, right? It's this thing, the way it makes me feel, impacts my way of dealing with people in groups that I manage. All right, it makes me, man, I hate to admit it, but it does make me sometimes, I guess, take it out on like people who you know, who don't like, haven't done anything, right? It's rare, but it happens. Like, I've caught myself having done that a couple of times, and which I don't regret because the decision was right, but like the way is what I'm talking about, like the way I did it. Yeah, it also makes me so much more prone to not want to get to know people when in reality I'm actually very social, and you know, I like getting to know people, I like mingling, I like, you know, integrating. um but situations like that just make me lose my fucking momentum, and they make me, you know what, they actually do make me harsh. I'm not gonna lie, like it is these situations that make me harsh, in fact. And I have then the capacity to just talk about people um a bit more, you know, I guess I kind of dehumanize them a little bit in my head, a little bit, you know, just a little bit, enough to be able to not connect and be like, hey, you need to fucking go. You're gone. I don't want you in my guild. Like, you know, that kind of thing, which I don't like necessarily, even though it has to be done, of course, that is necessary. But I don't necessarily like it. I think also the fact that I can choose like that I have this eagerness to choose, you know, this like I don't mind the responsibility or all that shit. I think that's why I'm ideal for, you know, fuck, it sucks to say it, but I'm ideal for kicking people out of a guild. Exactly because I don't give a fuck. Because at the back of my head, you know, well, at the back of my head, I have all the stuff I told you about. And I'm like, yeah, let me just be a bit harder, I guess. Oh well. I'm gonna have to be a little bit hard very soon. Did that sound wrong? That didn't sound wrong. Like the context, like there's no way there was anything sexual there, right? Not this time. Another time maybe, but like not this time. But anyway, no, I'm gonna have, fuck. Okay, I'm gonna have to not be so. Okay, how? I'm gonna have to be strict. There you go. I'm gonna have to be strict soon. I don't necessarily like it. Being a girl boss is so difficult. Did you know that? So fucking difficult. Oh god. Give me a sec. I'll be right back. Give me a sec. Hey, I'm back. I might need coffee. This is absurd. This conversation is kind of like makes me want to have coffee with you. That's what this causes me to feel like I need coffee. You know, when I felt that before was during, like, you know, it's different. It's not just like, oh, let me just have some coffee. It's like this requires some coffee and some sitting down and talking about, you know, that kind of thing. That this is the mood that this thing has, this whole conversation or monologue, if you will, has put me in. I'm like, yeah, I should bring some coffee and just, I don't know, just sit there with you. pretend that you can answer back or that you even are there, which who knows if you are. But that's the mood though, which means in turn, and the reason why I'm mentioning it is that means in turn that I consider this a serious topic, at least for me, or at least when I say serious, I mean like one that currently troubles me, and it does, and it's also, you know, it's a large part. It's one of the things that I want to talk about. Oh, add another yawn. Let's get going. Yeah, it's troubling me. I have to find a permanent solution and a final one. You know, one that like I can settle on and feel good about it. Because I'll tell you the truth, I feel good about how I think I'm handling it. In theory, it's a sound technique, all right? It's a sound maneuver. It's a good tactical plan. But the problem is that in reality, I have to deal with like emotions and shit, where the other person foils my plan by just being, I don't know, by not being receptive to the idea of like not talking. It's kind of funny when you say it like that. I'm sorry, but yeah, they're not really receptive about, you know, of that for their own reasons, which again, I have grounds to question those reasons, by the way, which also makes it worse. And then it makes it double worse because I still fall for it, because I still, you know, get emotionally bullied, I guess. Anyway, but yeah, I've reached this point where I'm very aware of the whole process. I have it all mapped out. It's all charted. I know the routes. I've been there before. I know all the possible endings, including the secret ones. I just have to solidify, like, okay, this is what's gonna be happening, you know, and then hold on to it. And I used to think that the best solution is to actually just delete a person, like block them, delete them, whatever, just remove them completely so that they cannot do this comeback thing, right? And I've done that in the past. I've done it a lot, actually. And you want to know something? For all the fucking philosophical mumbo jumbo that anyone can tell you, oh, you don't need to block them, you have to block them in your head first. No, just it worked. It worked. That is the sad reality of it. I didn't have to do any mental gymnastics. I just removed them from all my socials, and they were gone. And then, you know, that's it. And that may make you ask, how did they come back? And I'm like, yeah, I'll tell you how they came back. I unblocked because a part of me, like, okay, it is twofold, right? I unblock because first, on one hand, you're like, okay, I got this. I no longer need this this third wheel of blocking, right? I can unblock them and just like be there, and they're not gonna bother me after all this time, right? So that's on one hand, and on the other hand, it's like a little secret hope that they are going to reach out, because you do miss them at the end of the day, right? And that's fucked up. All of that is fucked up, more than you know. To feel, you know, to have to contend with. Sorry, some Discord stuff that I have to take care of on the side since I'm not gaming. I guess since I'm not gaming, it's okay, right? If I'm taking care of something on the side that is on Discord. I guess maybe it's not good streaming etiquette, but like I'm not known for that thing anyway. So yeah. Ah, yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry for that, but again, like as I said, we're just chatting, so I can keep my socials, let's say, running, which I don't do when I game. So I guess I'm excused right now. It's a more I consider just chatting to be a more chill, like department of streaming, if you will. But now I forgot what I was saying. So yeah, that's fucked. Um, all I know for sure is that like maybe in about let me see. Yeah, mm, maybe an hour and a half, perhaps. I should start streaming Baldur's Gate 3. But I did want to get all that stuff out of the way, and you know, I wanted to leave like a large margin because I didn't know how long this would take, and apparently it took about an hour, which isn't bad. It's kind of okay. Then again, maybe it was too much of a gap there. But hey, you know, all that means is that basically I'll turn off the stream and I'll chill for an hour and then I'll be back. Instead of like chilling for 20 minutes and being back, you know, as I was hoping would be the case. Mm, because either we can do that, or, which is also interesting. So you know, I've had certain videos that are very short. I've had them pinned on my browser for like a month now, and they're shit that I wanted to watch with you and talk about, right? So I'm thinking, why not do that? And then the gap in between this stream and Baldur's Gate 3 is not gonna be that awkward. Provided, of course, that these videos can be, you know, more thoroughly examined, let's say. And there are things on them to talk about because I haven't watched them, but I know they're short. So it's kind of a 50-50. But if we're gonna do that, for real, I'm gonna need some coffee or something. So let me take care of that. I'll say for now I'm BRB, since I'll go get that coffee. But do know that when I return, I might decide that like, hey, opening up and everything and just talking to you, I'm right now I'm buzzed and I don't want to like do something. In which case I'll see you. You know, I'll shut down the stream and I'll see you in an hour or something. But let's see how I feel about it when I come back. Okay. For now, BRB. But yeah, like right now, my greatest like trouble, let's say, with all that shit is like, okay, all is said and done, and I've complained, and I've uh, blown out some fucking smoke, and I've vented, and I've told you, you know, you little precious things, and now it's out of my system, and I've complained about it and all that. But like, okay, so now what? So this is the most difficult part for me because, for example, with these two people that I want to resolve these situations with, I'm like, you don't want to, like, we're not hanging out anymore. That's first fact, right? Second fact, it's not because of me. So that's second fact. So that brings us to the question, like, what the fuck do you want to do now? Because if me forcing that choice and taking the L and like being the person who will be blamed and all that, like, if that doesn't satisfy, and if disappearing just means that like nothing really changes ever, and if blocking and all that is too harsh and makes me miss you, so where the fuck do we stand then? Like, what do you want to do? Right? Because it's not my problem, yeah, but like it's being pushed on me. So what do you want me to do? Should like, I don't fucking know, dude. It's so confusing. But like literally, that's what I was asking like somebody just now. Like, what do you want me to do? How do you wanna like go on? Because like this situation is not caused because of me. I just want to know where we stand. You know how what we do now, man. And that's usually when really things get so fucking weird, and I expect them to be weird. And I mean, even with the other person, I was like, yesterday, I was like, hey, so, you found a girlfriend and now you're dipping? Is that it? Like, are we gonna do that again? Smiley face? And there hasn't been an answer. Dude, I can't. I lose my mind with that shit. For real. I know it must sound whiny and miserable and all that, but this is what I'm here for. I wanna be miserable and whiny right now. Sure, on the side I'm taking care of it, and I do have my battle plan, and I do have everything else, and blah blah blah. But like, I'm here whining because I just lose my shit with that, and I also lose people, and I don't wanna, but like, yeah. Coffee has been had, and this subject is kind of closed. I have a solution for you, or not a solution, but I have a proposition. There we go, a proposition. That coffee is too fucking hot. I think I burned my tongue a little bit. Shit. I have a proposition for you though. How about, let's say we have 1 hour and a half, right? Which should be true, more or less. Why don't I start System Shock again? Because I said I would, right? So I've been thinking about it recently. Why not do that? And then I can dump it once Neris is back, and we can co-op like Baldur's. But it should be a nice distraction in the meantime. And this time we can spend some time on the options menu and see what we really want to do. Because last time that fucking, let me tell you, that fucking what you call it, the timer. Oh god, the timer was stressing me so much. It was changing. For a first blind playthrough on the highest difficulty settings, that timer was, holy shit. I think it completely changed how I felt about the game. So this time I'm disabling that. So what do you say? Shut this shit down, close this subject, and then I'll see you in 10 for System Shock for however long that's gonna last until Neris is back, right? Because yeah, I don't think I wanna fill the next hour and a half or so with like more nonsense like this. Because to be fair, this stream served its purpose, right? Which its purpose was to just tell it to the fucking ocean, right? Which, you know, proverbial ocean, I guess, to the fucking virtual ocean, right? And just yell it to the ocean and be mad and let it all out, and it did that, and it's fine. All right, yeah. Now let's move on to System Soak. Let's do that. Thank you for watching and listening. And if you don't join me for System Shock, yeah, have a great evening, and perhaps I'll see you again or not. I don't know what they say in these situations. but no, for real. Thanks for watching. See you then for some shocking system. All right. Goodbye for now.